All right, y'all, let me tell you about my trip to Ponto. So if you've ever heard anything about Lisbon, you know about this restaurant. I saw it for the first time after my first trip to Lisbon. My mom and I were watching Somebody Feed Phil on Netflix, so once we decided to go to Portugal together, we decided to make a reservation. When I made a reservation, I thought, let me make a reservation for the evening because the sunset's going to be so beautiful and it might be really hot at lunchtime. So between making the reservation and landing in Lisbon, Ponto was all over all my social media feeds. So we started out our fateful journey by taking a ferry from Lisbon to Caxias. It was dark by the time we arrived, so we already missed what I believe was going to be this beautiful sunset on the water, and it was also raining. We were told we could walk from the ferry station to the restaurant, but we decided to get an Uber, which actually wasn't a very good idea because a car can only get you so close to the restaurant because, well, it's on a pier. At one point, our Uber driver actually had to drive backwards down a steep hill to avoid an oncoming car on a two-way road that was definitely not big enough for two cars. So we ended up getting out of the Uber on some random cliff in the dark with nobody around and only our confusing Google directions, hoping we could figure it out. Luckily, two women who spoke English came out of nowhere and told us to take a crazy elevator down to the center of the earth and make a right. So we did that and we finally saw the restaurant. We got there just as they opened for dinner and we were the only ones there except for Ratatouille and his cousins. Yes, you heard that right. There were several rats scurrying around the pier. The staff was aware of them and they never got close to us, and it seemed like there was unspoken agreement that this was shared territory. I know that is definitely a deal breaker for a lot of people, but at this point, we just had to see our mission through. Anyway, we were happy to arrive, but cold. Our waiter was very charming and buttered my mom up. We got her a blanket and a bottle of wine, so she was good. So as we looked at the city lights, we got our Covert, which you know I love. And after another waitress sneezed in my face and I swore I was going to get COVID, we got these cod fritters, which are pretty good. But let me tell you about these beans and rice, y'all. They came out steaming in this terracotta pot, and they were so good. Technically, we shared this meal, but I pretty much ate all the beans for myself. I definitely recommend this dish. For dessert, we had creme brulee, which was just okay. All in all, I'm glad we had this experience, but I don't think it's a must-do when in Lisbon. And if you do choose to go, I recommend lunch or dinner in the summer when it's still light out after 7 p.m. So as we were eating, more diners started arriving from the opposite direction from which we came. The 15-minute walk we had read about from the ferry, so we decided to make the walk back to the ferry. In the dark, past abandoned warehouses that look really cool and artsy in the daytime, but are much more terrifying at night. But we held hands, we prayed to our separate deities. Mama's a Christian and I'm a Buddhist. And we made it back to the ferry in 12 minutes. So we congratulated ourselves by getting crushed donuts at the Lisbon Timeout Market right across the street from the ferry before taking an Uber back to our Airbnb. Stay tuned for more of our adventures in Lisbon.